everything has consequences and we have to accept the consequences. Are there people out there who will not look at those things? Like, you are just, I can't get my, okay. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about something that recently made news, made headlines. It's something going on right at this moment. A draft opinion from the Supreme Court in the United States was leaked on the possibility of overturning Roe v. Wade. This has never happened in the history of the US, of something being leaked like this. People are going insane. I'm not going to get into if I think it actually got leaked on purpose, on accident. I'm not going to talk about necessarily what I think of it. I'm going to take a different approach and say the hypersexualized culture is a huge problem and how it ties into this whole abortion problem we have. Because how do we get to a point where someone wants an abortion? Obviously, when two people have relations. Now, if two people only had relations when they were married or they felt really close and it was only them two and they just stayed with each other, it wasn't like with everyone, with random people. Let's put, the tragic circumstances aside. Let's actually talk about if people just stuck with one person that they wanted to marry, possibly have kids with, and really took sex seriously, do you think we would have as big of an abortion problem? Because in my opinion, we wouldn't. This hypersexualized culture we have, where we have the media, the porn industry fueling this and, showing people, oh yeah, you should do that. You should go around with different people. You shouldn't take it seriously. You should just use it as a regular, you should just take it as seriously as eating or drinking. Just do it with whoever. Yeah, don't value it, whatever. Do you see how we get to this point? Why don't you think these things were happening so much back then? You guys can just be like, people are free to do whatever they want, but then we get to these consequences. I feel like people forget that when they're intimate with someone, this is the possible consequence. Yeah, you can protect yourself, take measures, but this could be the consequence. I love the analogy people make. It's like someone saying, I consent to drinking all night and then driving, but I don't consent to a possibility of a drinking under influence charge. Something along the lines of that. I saw a comment, something about that was spot on. Everything has consequences and we have to accept the consequences. Well, for me, I'm unaffected by this in a sense where, not that I don't care, but I'm saying if they were to ban it today, I wouldn't be personally impacted. Whereas if they were to say, okay, it's mandatory that you have to not dye your hair anymore or something like that, it doesn't personally affect me. And I guess the reason why is because I value intimacy, I take it seriously, and I'm also kind of repulsed by it though. From the beginning I've been there's always that guilt factor at the back of your head, the morality, the religious act. There's a lot of aspects, and I know not everybody sees intimacy the same way, but these are the natural consequences. And we all have this problem too. What about people who eat junk food and then they complain that they have all these heart problems and well, look what has happened. Basically, people's reckless decisions lead up to these problems, and then people don't want to take responsibility. With that being said, this hypersexualized culture and also the porn industry, if we took that away and if people really saw intimacy for what it was, we wouldn't have this problem. And how we can stop this? Well, first off, I know this biological drive, but I don't think that, this whole thing about porn and the social media, being going on OnlyFans and porn, I don't think that's a biological drive type of thing. It's can I find someone these days who will just not want that, who will just not look at those things? Are there people out there who will not look at those things? You are just God bless your soul, seriously. When I get so bothered by it, I get so bothered by it. And I know I'm going all over the place, but I'm really not, because all these things that are happening with this abortion thing now, basically in a university in Utah, they want to teach hardcore porn as one of the subjects. All this stuff with the porn, the hypersexualized culture has to do with this abortion problem. It does. How does this possibility of abortion even happen? How do people get pregnant? How does this happen? It does tie together. But as I was saying, don't go into porn just think this is not realistic, this is not going to help me, this is going to be an addiction, this is going to make me anxious, depressed, I'm not going to have a valuable relationship. Think of that. Think of how would you feel if your parents saw you looking at that person like that, or your significant other. Also, if you have friends that are doing that, try to stop them, try to educate them, try to put a stop to it, express it. Another thing is just get your mind occupied, there's other ways people can get pleasure and good feelings than that stuff. Believe me, I know. And I just feel people just need to relax and have more self-control, because if we had more self-control, we wouldn't get to this problem. You guys get what I'm trying to say. I'm not even trying to ramble on, but you see how this ties in. I can make so many parts about how I feel about this problem with this hypersexualized culture. I really can. Hypersexualized culture can just calm down, or people can revert it somehow. We wouldn't have as big of this debate and issue with abortion. Really, this was my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me what you want to see next. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.